Hey folks, another edition of the Roby Ratings for College Football recap. Uh, the last week we were talking about the supposed controversy over the teams that made the field. You know, the fan base of the Irish are up in arms because Miami made the playoff. And I said that really the fan bases at BYU and Utah had as much reason to be upset as if you look at strength of schedule and actual statistical performance. Actually, Utah, at least in my Sagarin-like system, actually even finished ahead of Ohio State and Indiana, and they were totally left out of the field. And of course you could make the case for BYU because actually they made the Big 12 championship game instead of Utah when they won the so-called holy war between the Utes and Cougars. But Miami won against Texas A&M with an interception of Marcel Reed in the end zone by Bryce Fitzgerald. In a rather dramatic finish. So they survived, and I guess this coming week, we'll see just how Texas Tech performs to see whether my argument holds water or not. I mean, statistics are statistics, and they don't always translate into what happens on the field at the end of a season. So we'll see whether Texas Tech is able to perform at the level that I think they will. Anyway, the folks at Vanderbilt and Notre Dame definitely are not going to be satisfied in the fact that Miami won. When you have James Madison getting pummeled by Ole Miss, and then the other non-power 5 now, I guess, instead of now it's power 4, I guess, being that the Pac-12 no longer exist. But Tulane got throttled by Ole Miss, and James Madison, they had a lackluster performance as well. It just appears to me and both fan bases that maybe those non-power conferences maybe don't need a seat at the table in the playoffs. I perhaps would employ a different standard, which is if you're the champion of a non-power conference and you're undefeated, then I think maybe you merit consideration by the committee. Where if you have more than one loss, maybe it should revert to the de facto standard that used to happen, which was if you weren't in a major conference, the only way that you would get consideration from the committee would be if you were undefeated. Anyway, that's just my take on things, and we'll look at the numbers and see how they stack up next week. And until then, see you later.